So I've just been watching Cobra Kai, and like most people, at some point, probably when you were about 12 years old, you watched The Karate Kid, which was an amazing film. That film gave me such feels. It's like so poignant, such a sad film, but a beautiful film as well. And it was that amazing, The Karate Kid, that we ended up getting the Karate Kid 2, Karate Kid 3, the next Karate Kid, and then the Karate Kid. I'm not sure who found the time to watch all five, but that's how much that film kind of blew up. It really resonated with people and it became this cultural phenomenon. And so now, 34 years later, we have Cobra Kai.
When I saw the series suggested on Netflix, I thought this is not for me. It seems very male in his 40s kind of story, and it is outside my comfort zone. But I kept seeing all the Karate Kid clips in the trailer, and I guess the nostalgia, wanting to feel the same feels that you had when you watched the Karate Kid the first time. I thought, why not try it out? And I kept thinking of Barney from How I Met Your Mother, how he kept putting up Johnny Lawrence as a total hero. And I'm sure that's even how this show came about. Um, I thought, why not see if I can watch the show from Barney's perspective? Is there any heroic qualities to this man, the Johnny Lawrence character? So the show follows on from where the original film left off. We see what has happened to Johnny Lawrence and Danny LaRusso since the first Karate Kid film. Danny has become very successful. He's married, he has his two kids, he runs his car dealership, and he's sort of set up as winning. Then you have Johnny Lawrence, who's down on his luck. He's estranged from his wife and his kid, and kind of just living his low key life and not really bothering with people too much. The things I really noticed about this show, I would say this show, it is about the past, but it's also about forming relationships with the people around you and about the hopefulness of other people and how that can rub off on you and help you start to care about things again.
There is a lot of focus on friendships and the idea of who you choose to surround yourself with. I think friendships in general, you get to see sort of that middle school, high school, primary, secondary school time where you're maybe drifting away from certain people you used to hang out with, and how do you manage that?
Another thing for me, it was really interesting to see the philosophy behind the Cobra Kai dojo because I don't remember focusing on that too much or noticing that too much when I watched the original movie. Yes, they had strike first, strike hard, have no mercy, but I feel in this series you see a lot more how brutal that philosophy can be. Um, and that extends to the fighting scenes. It's very brutal fighting scenes, like it was in the original movie, to be fair. But it is still a very aggressive world that these characters are living in.
I also just didn't realize what a giant a hole that original sensei was. I mean, I knew he was like not the greatest.
He's a very intense character. And so and we see that when Johnny keeps remembering him in clips. So seeing that Johnny himself doesn't approach things to that degree does show that he's not the villain character that we were given in the movie and that there is more to him than just following his sensei's way. Are you really allowed to kick someone in the face in karate? It seems a bit much. Surely that is not allowed in karate, and Danny LaRusso probably would have been disqualified in real life. But it turns out that there are a few different forms of karate. So, depending on which type of karate you're doing, quite a few of these forms of karate do allow you to kick people in the face, but you can't punch in the face. So, The Karate Kid and Cobra Kai is in fact an accurate portrayal of what karate can be. It's not the total Hollywood version that a lot of films give us. So anyway, in terms of storyline with Cobra Kai, we get to follow Johnny Lawrence and see him at work, and we see him stepping up for his neighbor's kid, which leads to him deciding to reopen the Cobra Kai dojo. And then we start to see how he runs the dojo and how he starts to take his life a bit more seriously. The show is actually really funny, which was unexpected. I didn't think I'd find it as funny as I found it. In terms of what a dojo actually is, it is a room or hall in which judo and other martial arts are practiced. It's a room where you go to immerse yourself in learning or meditation. It literally means place of the way in Japanese. So when he opens up this Cobra Kai dojo, he's effectively teaching these students the way of the Cobra Kai. In terms of themes, the show deals a lot with Americana themes: self reliance, running a business, competition, being a winner, very much Trump type themes. Being the underdog is another theme. It's an interesting reversal because in the original Karate Kid, Danny LaRusso was more of the underdog character that you rooted for. And in Cobra Kai, Johnny Lawrence is set up more as the underdog of the story. I wouldn't exactly say that I'm rooting for Johnny Lawrence. I will say that I relate to his dry sense of humor a lot more than Danny LaRusso's earnestness. So, in terms of that perspective, I suppose you could say there is an element of wanting to see Johnny Lawrence win. And that again is one of the key themes of the show, this idea of the winners and the losers. Like I say, it is an American show, and that idea of are you a winner, are you a loser, it's something that at the moment seems to be playing in the American subconscious. But this idea of are you a winner, are you a loser, what does that mean? Is it such a terrible thing to be considered a loser? For a loser, Johnny Lawrence has actually got a lot more to him. This idea that you need to be a winner or you need to be a loser, it's a very simplistic idea. And a show such as this, I think it helps to break down this idea that you have to be a complete winner or complete loser. I think you could also say that Danny LaRusso, who's supposed to be the winner, he does exhibit a lot of symptoms that I wouldn't necessarily say make you a winner. I would say for Danny LaRusso, though, he's still very much a grounded character. He knows what he stands for, and he does something that maybe Johnny Lawrence doesn't do as well, which is that he appreciates the chances and the opportunities that he's had in his life, and he really makes the most of them. But overall, I feel that the writers have made both characters a lot more grey, which makes the show very interesting. It's not as easily he's good and he's bad, there's more nuance to it. Danny LaRusso is still a good guy character, but he also does things that call that into question. And because there's also greater character development and understanding of the Johnny Lawrence character, you get to know see both of these people in a more realistic and holistic way and not just pinpoint them as storybook good versus bad. I really like the honesty of the script. Some of the things these characters are saying you wouldn't normally hear on a sitcom style show, so it makes it quite revolutionary in a way. It's a fresh way of presenting characters. I wouldn't call it edgy, I would just call it a more naturalized style of writing compared to the type of lines you typically hear in these type of series. It's not so clunky, it's not so forced. It's a bit more behind the scenes what you'd actually hear in these sort of situations. So I think that really does keep your attention. it's a realistic portrayal of what a man at that age would be like, and I think they capture that in the writing. He does take the pee a lot in a lot of ways, but he's also very grounded and very aware of what works for him and what doesn't. I think what really works well in the show is also that they chose to focus on it being a sort of small town, a very particular area of LA, and it helps to feed into what makes this show quite funny at times. I don't want to give away too much of those moments, but you have things with billboards and things like this. And because it is focused on this particular place, um, it makes you feel included in a way that you probably wouldn't if it was set in like a large city. There's a small town feel. You know everybody. You went to school with everybody. You see these people around. You have all these old rivalries. You know who somebody was in high school, in secondary school. So it's interesting how it gives it this nostalgia. They feel very familiar to you, these characters. It feels like you went to school with them. It's your parents, it's your friends, it's people you know. So when these moments come up where they're laughing or you're laughing, it's like you're there with them and you understand why it's funny, in a way that you wouldn't if they hadn't created this particular um, small town suburb feel. So I think that was a really great choice, and it helps to lift the show above just being an ordinary type series. So overall, yes, overall, I think it's a really good show. I'm really enjoying it. I would give it 4 out of 5. I'm going to continue watching it, and I would recommend this as a watch. Even if you just watch it and it makes you want to go back and watch The Karate Kid, and then you can try and watch The Karate Kid 2, and then you can wonder what else they managed to find to show in the numerous other karate movies, because how much is there to dig through in a karate competition? I don't know, but overall, I think this is a great show. Did this series make me want to take up karate, which I think is the main point of everything? I'm going to make it the main point of everything. No, but I do wish that I could chop through a block of wood because it looks very impressive. But am I going to find a dojo to attend? Not at the moment. But that is it for me. Cobra Kai gets 4 out of 5. And leave me a comment, leave me a like or dislike, subscribe, let me know what you thought of Cobra Kai and if you are looking to take up karate or not. And I will see you on the next few episodes. Okay, bye.